Hello and welcome to the next section of the Toggle LED TI RTOS demo. So in this demo we would be actually seeing how to do a hardware interrupt. So I'm going to just include my hardware interrupt.c file and my configuration file active into my workspace. So let me pull up that particular those particular files, and over here the code remains pretty much the same, except that as you can see, what we're going to do here is we are not using a delay, we are actually using a timer. And so here is our initialization for the timer. We are using timer 2. I think it's part A, and we are basically initializing it to a particular period, and the rest of that remains the same, of toggling the LEDs, etc. So the major difference here would be just to include the timer. And how do we activate the timer? So here is just the initialization and what happens when the timer period is up. So if you actually go into this toggle LED underscore hardware interrupt configuration file, so you can see, let me pull up my files. Unfortunately I don't have this particular GUI working, I'm not sure why, but I can still pass through over here the outline through here. And so what we have done here is, obviously we want to know, so we have actually enabled our execution analysis. So we want to have a task and HWI, so which is your hardware interrupt. And then what we are also want to do is we want to create a hardware interrupt like this. You want to add the hardware interrupt management module to your configuration. Go to instance and then type in here the handle. So this handle can be anything, but this ISR function should match the one that is you want to actually execute, which is ledToggle. And then you also have to specify this interrupt number. So in order to specify this interrupt number, so you need to actually go into the data sheets of, or the data sheet of the T/C. Here using interrupts. So this is from various interrupt numbers. So that's interrupt number 1. So if you go to the 2 over here, and we are actually using this guy over here, which is timer 2A, which is vector number 39. So for now what we're going to do is enter here 39, that's our interrupt number, and then you're also going to give it a higher priority than the normal task, which is -1, and once you're done with it, you're pretty much set. So we will save it, and let's so the rest of it remains the same. Right click on it and let's rebuild it. And I've not touched anything else there. It's just that a little bit of change of code and use the time interrupt, and then we will wait until this compilation is done. So now the compilation is done, so let's program. So if you want to look at what the script looks like, you can actually click on it, and then you can see that's what happens. Your whatever that you are trying to configure, it actually creates that. Okay, now that's done. So I'm just initially going to hit it and see if my LED is blinking. LED seems to be blinking. That's being verified. I'm going to let it run for some time. Pause it. Do not stop it. Go to tools, go to RTOS analyzer, and click on analyzer, RTOS analyzer, and over here we are only interested in the execution graph, so that is fine. So I'm going to say start, and in cases that you don't get here, just make sure that you have actually gone through the log setting up and then enable that. Okay, now you can see over here